All right, this is really... Is he on the phone? Is he on the phone? This is really important. Now, I am not somebody... I have not bought into the Sharknado craze, per se. But when I heard this on MSNBC, I didn't realize there was real hard science behind this. This is yesterday, or 2 days ago.
How does one create something so original as this?
You know, we just felt it was time that the world was alerted to the perils of global warming and biometeorology. So it was just a matter of doing our research and getting the facts out to everybody.
Right, because this can happen.
Absolutely, it could happen.
Now, we have Thunder McLeod.
Thunder Levin?
Thunder Levin is on the phone with us, who's a damn near a scientist. Thunder, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm disturbed because I thought this was just a movie, but then I see that this can happen, and you're trying to get the facts out. So I just want to have this a real fact-based conversation, if we can.
Glenn, don't tell me you're one of those Sharknado deniers.
No, I'm not. No, I used to think it was a film, and then I heard this. Now I want to ask you something, Thunder, and because I laughed, and I want to make sure that you don't treat me the same way. Are you familiar with girafficanes?
I have never actually seen one of those, but I've heard.
Yeah, they are sucked up into hurricanes, and the wind is at such force they wrap themselves around small children like boa constrictors, and they snap
neck of the giraffe.
The neck. It's ugly to see.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what the next movie should be about.
Well,
I think it should.
I just don't think there's been enough attention given to the developing science of biometeorology, and we're all just trying to get the word
what
out.
Exactly is? I'm just throwing this out for the layman. For the layman, pretend that I don't know. Of course, I know what you're talking about, Thunder. But what is biometeorology?
Well, it's just the science of animals and meteorology in combination, which is becoming one of the more deadly consequences of global warming.
And you've shown this on both coasts now. A lot of people were like, "Oh, I can live on the East Coast; it's not a big deal." And then we see what happened to New York City, and now we all know the pain of that biometeorology can bring.
It could happen anywhere, really.
Now, are you insulted that this is carried on the Sci-Fi Channel?
Science.
I just think it's important to get the word out, and wherever it has to be, that's
right. So you want to focus.
Very good to us.
Would you like to focus on the science part of their name?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously it's a fictionalized story, but that's what's needed to spread the word.
Right.
He's alerting people about this.
I don't know. Honestly, I love your attitude. But I have no idea where you stand on things, but I just want you to know, whenever you stand on things, I love you.
Well, that's always good to hear. Apparently quite a few people love us. We had a pretty good night Wednesday night.
Huge numbers.
Yeah.
We were looking back at an old article about the original Sharknado, which did incredibly well and is like really a sensation for years to come. Obviously, with the second one, it did 1/3 of the numbers of Sharknado 2.
That's amazing.
We seem to have hit a nerve.
I'm just watching. I'm watching the clips here. My son and I are watching it this weekend. This is absolutely tremendous. It is absolutely tremendous.
You apparently had fought a pretty described as a pretty brutal battle with the original Sharknado, in keeping in a particular scene in which Ian Ziering was eaten and then had to chainsaw his way out from inside of a shark.
Right, and then a previous victim was inside that he managed to rescue as well. I had to.
It was a big shark.
Some question as to whether that was going too far, and I said it's called Sharknado. We really can't go too far.
Great point. Did you see that the National Weather Service?
Wait a minute. I just want to savor that moment because I love these things. I have watched movies before where they have been so bad that I have tried to imagine sitting in the pitch meeting where they are pitching this and somebody goes, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, let's go ahead and put that in production. But they're serious. I can't believe that something was accepted called Sharknado and somebody actually said, now wait a minute. Is the guy saving somebody inside the belly of the shark with a chainsaw? I think that's a little over the top, don't you?
Well, admittedly, this conversation did not go on all that long. After a relatively brief period, they saw the light.
Yeah, I think you had the ultimate argument, which was the title of the movie they made you write. This is amazing, and you have brought attention to so many huge problems in our society, as well as because people aren't talking about the other issue you've brought up, which are mutant vampire zombies from the hood.
Yeah, well, fortunately, that was a serious crisis for a while, but it seems to have passed, at least for now. It may be that the sharks have been eating the zombies, and that sort of resolved one problem.
Is there a possibility that the zombies and the sharks will ever come together?
I think zombie sharks is something we need to be on the lookout for.
Right. Now we understand that Sharknado 3 is already in the works. Is that? Yeah. That's true.
We're
I want you to know.
Starting to have some tentative conversations about that.
Really, with 3.9 million people watching the Sci-Fi Channel, you think they might sit down with you? They might pick up the phone.
The decision has already been made to make the movie. We're just starting to talk about my involvement.
All right, so that's great. Thunder, as if that is your real name.
No, that is actually my real name.
I would like you to change your last name. I'm just a thinker here. I'm not your parent, clearly, but I'm just a thinker. I think you should change your last name to McLeod.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
I'm telling you, Thunder McLeod. Nobody screws with Thunder McLeod.
These days nobody screws with Thunder Levin either.
Yeah, because the Sharknado hits your city next. That's what happens if you screw with them.
I would like to see a Sharknado in like Dubuque, Iowa. Is that maybe in the works?
Not a lot of damage there.
No,
it could happen anywhere. As these storms grow more powerful, the ability to transport sharks over long distances only increases.
Does this have anything to do with the polar vortex that's going on? Because we have a polar bear here on set. It's not, it's a real polar bear, but it's dead. But we have a polar bear, and we were looking at the size.
Sad.
What'd you say?
That's very sad.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It was eaten by a shark in '73. But here's the thing. We looked at that polar bear earlier today, and I thought to myself, if the polar vortex starts sucking these things up, because they'd be sucked up, they'd be flash frozen. Those things falling down, that's the size of a Volkswagen. How many people would die?
Right. So that's obviously something to be concerned about. Yeah. The amusing thing about it is we were actually shooting this film during the polar vortex in New York, and it was it's supposed to be a movie that takes place in the summer. And we were shooting in February of the worst winter the East Coast has seen in quite some time. So that was a bit of a challenge, but it actually, I think, helped the film because, Sharknadoes are extreme weather patterns, and it just seemed appropriate to be shooting.
Was anybody truly freaked out a little bit that the weather was so unstable at the time, and you were doing this climate essay, if you will? The thought did occur to us that there was just no telling what was about to happen.
Now, Thunder, in the movie, you see a lot of sharks raining out of the sky. It's like a shark thunderstorm.
Yes.
And I'm just hoping.
How ironic!
That
he's thunder.
I know.
And it's a shark thunderstorm.
But I'm hoping that these were stunt sharks and that no actual sharks were hurt in the filming of this movie.
No actual sharks were injured during the making of Sharknado. We had specially trained stunt sharks and subway sharks that had to be acclimated to the noise of the trains on the tracks.
Not to mention the lack of
well cared for.
The lack of water.
Well, there was flooding that went on.
There was some.
There's flooding, and of course in the Sharknado itself, the water is sucked up along with the sharks, so they get it by.
Now, Thunder, we're talking to Thunder
McLeod.
Is it Levin or Levin?
Levin.
Levin. Thunder Levin, who, of course.
McLeod, I'm telling you. Go with McLeod.
Right, I got it. Sharknado 2. Is there a situation here, because, we inherently like private sector solutions to problems like this, but is this something that you feel the need, that there needs to be legislation to try to move, to stop these weather patterns, or is this something that we can do privately?
Well, I think the military is going to have to get involved.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, I mean, it should be pointed out that every year, millions of sharks are killed by humans, but only a handful of humans are ever killed by sharks. So, in truth, this might just be their sort of
revenge.
Righteous revenge.
Could I ask you, is the, and this is a serious question, is the fact that no one in Israel has ever been eaten by a shark in a Sharknado, is that due to the Iron Dome?
To be honest, I think they're covering it up. There are tunnels that the sharks are infiltrating that I don't think they want anybody to know about.
Wow.
This is interesting, though, because you bring up an interesting point. My thought had always been, okay, these sharks sadly are just swimming around. They don't know this Sharknado's coming. They get sucked up into it. They get angry because they're taken out of their circumstance.
And they're confused.
Yeah, they're
nobody has said to them, what has happened in your life?
If someone
what
would
are you
sit down with
feeling
them
right now?
and say, look, this is a weather event. We didn't mean this. We'll try to return you as quickly as possible. Maybe there wouldn't have been an event. But you say that maybe this is a revenge.
We start chainsawing them to pieces. So,
right. Well, that was
I think
it's evil, man.
understandable that they're upset.
But that's evil.
True.
That's evil man, really.
But
let's put our cards down on the table. That's just man being man. And if man wasn't around, things would be a lot better, and movies would even be better.
Is it your belief, Thunder, though, that these sharks are swimming towards the Sharknado to get into it, to come attack man?
Well, at first nobody thought of that, but I think as this phenomena has picked up speed, we have to consider that possibility.
Holy cow!
It's something that needs to be looked into in the next year, certainly.
And by the way, we should tell you as well, we've had a lot of calls that say that the Sharknado was an inside job. I don't want to go down that road.
Dick Cheney is in one of them.
He is in one of them.
Let me ask you this, Thunder. When play the clip from MSNBC here. Here's the answer.
How does one create something so original as this?
Stop. So you went into the science part of it, but my answer to that, and I just want to see your reaction. My answer, how do you create something like Sharknado, would be you never age past 9. I mean, this is a 9-year-old. I mean, that's what makes it so great. This is a 9-year-old boy kind of. What if sharks?
That's exactly what it boils down to. The director keeps saying that he feels like the script was written by an 11-year-old. What I prefer to say is that the script was written by an experienced professional screenwriter channeling his inner 11-year-old. There is some need for structure to all of that.
It's so great. So great.
We should tell you, Thunder, as well. We had Ted Nugent on a little bit earlier in the program and asked him about the danger of...
Now, wait. Before we go into this, there will be some sort of fee if you decide to go here. There's a 2% fee that we'll get. I just want you to know. Okay.
And we asked him about the danger of Sharknadoes, and he said he was a good person to ask because he was the only one with enough arrows to handle the situation, which is great. And we said, I mean, Ted Nugent in Sharknado 3 would be a very interesting maneuver.
Ted Nugent firing off arrows would be fantastic.
I think there's something to be said for that. Right now, I think probably our main focus should be getting Bruce Campbell and his chainsaw too, because you can never have too many chainsaw guys.
Oh, that's
fantastic! Yeah. Thunder, I give you the thunder. I just want you to sleep on the Thunder McLeod thing. Get back to me.
I think my father might be upset if I change my last name, but I'll discuss it with him.
Dad doesn't understand showbiz, huh?
I hope you are making so much money off of this idea.
I hope you are too.
I hope you are sitting on 30,000 pounds of gold right now.
And here's what I want you to do, Thunder. I want you to
from your lips to sci-fi and the asylum.
Right. Well, we'll help you any way we can on that one because it's fantastic. But I want you to know, Thunder, I hope also that you go to bed after those negotiations and you say, "What a country." What a country. Only in America. Yeah, God bless America. Only in America. Thunder, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Sure, thank you, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
That's awesome.
That's great.
That is absolutely
fantastic.
Absolutely spoofing the global warmists.
Oh, you think so? Oh, I don't know. I didn't get that from him.
I think he is a guy who's. I think he's a guy who is playful. I think he's a guy who's playful and doesn't care. I think the guy just doesn't care. He's like, I'm making a stupid 11-year-old movie about sharks and men chainsawing their way out of sharks. Come on. There's not a serious bone in his body. I love that.
It's great.
That's great. I like that a lot. That is the right attitude to have.
It really is. Yeah. I want to live in his world, except for the shark part. It's scary.
Very frightening.
It's very frightening.